Yo.
Hey, I'm just gonna reboot my machine right quick.
All right.
And I'm thinking because something weird is going on. I can't hear y'all at all. Can y'all hear me?
We cannot.
Okay, if something weird is going on. I'm trying to reboot my machine and come right back in. Give me like a couple minutes.
All right, for sure.
Yep.
All right. Yo, welcome to Beers and Bars.
Your place for rapid fire hip hop discussion and of course great beer.
I am Kamal Kiddo.
OT the Golden Child. Thank y'all for checking out last week's episode. Thank those who was watching us on live a couple days ago at this point when this show actually drops. But you know what I'm saying? How everybody doing? Well, first of all, we have a guest here, second time on the show. You're gonna let him introduce himself. Bam.
Jerayll Allen. Those who know me just call me Rell. And I'm very happy to be here.
When was the last time you was on the show, Jerayll?
Beta Bra.
Man, it
was
was
Beta
like
Bra. How long ago? I mean, Beta Bra's not even there anymore. So
right.
I was literally just about to say that. Beta Bra's been going for a minute.
They have.
Yeah, they weren't even there that long, and their beer actually was kind of whack to me. But that's neither here nor that's neither here nor
Let's
there.
keep it real.
But yeah, no, it was a minute ago. It's been at least a couple years.
It had to
For
be,
sure.
like at least maybe a year and a half at least.
We reviewed like Vince Staples' first album on that episode.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, we talked about some, I think, and we did a classics, NWA classics.
Yeah, I was about to say, I remember we did NWA. Yeah,
it was 2017 for sure, I think.
Definitely a minute ago.
Yeah.
So what are we gonna talk about today? Today is a special day. Today is not current album. This is 2006 classics, rap classics from the year 2006. 2006.
2006.
2006. We got Clipse. Hell Hath No Fury. Hell Hath No Fury. Clipse. We got J Dilla's Donuts, all beats, MVTV. J Dilla Donuts. We got Ghostface Killah's Fishscale.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like it doesn't get the credit it deserves. Ghostface Killah's Fishscale. And then we're going to end out with the home team, Lupe Fiasco's Food and Liquor. Lupe Fiasco's Food and Liquor by Lupe Fiasco. Yeah. What are we drinking today? What are we drinking?
Let's go to our guest first, man. What you got over there, my boy?
This is one of my my little favorites. I like dark beer, so I mostly drink porters and stouts.
Nice.
And this is you can find this a lot. At first, when I first started drinking it, it wasn't very common, but now I'm seeing it in a lot
everywhere.
of places. From Breckenridge Brewery, it's the vanilla porter. It's fucking delicious. And I've actually been to Breckenridge, Colorado, to this brewery. And it was actually a pretty fucking cool experience. Breckenridge, Colorado was pretty cool. It was my first time getting altitude sickness for trying to ask me all that. But this is my vanilla porter right there.
Nice, man. We got a nice little winter beer on the show. You know what I'm saying?
On the real, man. That was a positive, cool story, bro. That was pretty cool.
On the real. I will be drinking Dovetail Brewery's Vienna-Style lager. Dovetail is Chicago, Illinois. I forgot exactly where they located, but they definitely here in the land. They located 1800 West Belle Plaine, Chicago, Illinois. Vienna-Style lager. Let's see here. So I think it's brewed, obviously, since it's Vienna-Style, Vienna malts. Rich, caramel toned, and inviting. This is my last one in my fork. I think I have had this before. This is a pretty, they consider, they say that they brew like the monks, so they consider themselves a more traditional style. They do their Vienna style. They got a Kolsch. They have this lager. They have another kind of. They have a couple beers, but they mostly do, traditional styles and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Shout out to them.
Word. Today, I'm having. Hot Butcher.
Farm Fresh.
Farm Fresh.
Let me shut up. Go ahead. Do your thing.
Dang, man, look at you, stealing my thunder, man. Farm Fresh from Hot Butcher.
Is that your first one today? That's your first one?
Well, this is like my third one. This is a Citra Equinaut Strata.
It's go.
Something like that. And HBC 586 hopped, double India Pale Ale. It's 8% ABV. The tasty notes is juicy tropical, fresh citrus, and sweet mango. Let's go ahead and crack this open, guys.
I really enjoyed the way you said sweet mango. That was awesome.
Yeah, man. Hot Butcher and their hazy creations, of course. You know what I'm saying? How many more do you have left in your 4-pack?
In this joint, one.
That's your last? Just one? Okay.
Just one left, yeah. Just one left.
All right. So, yeah, let's get into it, man. Happy to have Jerayll on the show, man. Jerayll, I want to see I saw a couple times, man, when you was doing like some you went live a couple times, man, and you was giving your thoughts on some cultural things and whatnot. Those joints was dope to me, man. I want to see some more of them. So I just wanted to put that in your ear while you on the show. I want some more Jerayll speaks or whatever. I have no idea. You know
Look at that, so. And Jerayll, me and Jerayll had a whole conversation the other day, and I did not know he was gonna say that, Jerayll. I did not talk to him about our conversation before this. That's a sign, my brother.
See?
I appreciate the positive vibes, man. Yeah, no, I actually have been working on something that hopefully y'all be seeing sooner than later.
Perfect.
I can't really speak too much on it right at this moment, but I am working on something. So yeah, I do. But I appreciate that, sir.
For sure. Let's get into it, man. What are we doing first again? What is this? We're gonna do
Clipse. Hell Hath No Fury. 2006. The brothers Thornton, Gene and Terrence. Gene and Terrence Thornton.
This is their second album, or really their third album officially, right? They had an album that came out before. They had an album, I think, that came out before, unofficially came out before the first album. So this is technically the third one, but
I don't even. You're correct.
Yeah.
In theory, you're correct, but I
don't know because you said it. You told me that. That's the only reason why I really even know.
I mean, I didn't know that at the time, and I think Wikipedia. I mean, yes, but I look at Hell Hath No Fury as their second album. I look at Lord Willing as their first album. You know what I'm saying?
Let's start with Jerayll because he had a take. He was going somewhere with a take before they started. So I want to. I apologies, but to you, sir.
No, it's all good. So I will preface this by saying that I was never really like a Clipse fan for real. Like I recognize them as like they could spit. You know what I'm saying? Like I definitely respected them as lyricists and as hip hop artists, but just wasn't really my thing. And so I went back and listened to it just, you know what I'm saying, for the purpose of discussing it on this show. And I was just reminded of why I just really didn't fool with them like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, and I always thought, and I honestly think Pusha T as the time went on just got a lot better. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
And not saying they was bad back then, but I just think him as a solo artist, the dynamic and him being able to like kind of choose his own path in that way helped him out. But at that time, I just always thought they were kind of carried by Pharrell's production, which I thought on the production on Lord Willing was superior to the production on Hell Hath No Fury.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I did go back to and listen to it, and it's just cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I just feel like maybe if I was selling drugs, you know what I'm saying, at that level, then maybe I would have felt it a little bit different, you know what I'm saying? But at the time, I wasn't feeling it, and still to this day, I'm just really not. But I do recognize the impact that Clipse had on the culture.
For sure.
So I'll always give them that respect. But just, no, I ain't really do it for me.
I feel
You know what? What's weird about this album is that in this year, when this album came out, it was getting a lot of love. To me, this is almost My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, from the standpoint of like, people who were fans of Clipse was like, yo, this album is better than Lord Willin'. It's amazing. And I like the album, but I never got why some people was thinking that this was better than the first one, in the same way that some people will say My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, for its reasons, is Kanye's best album, even though I think that they crazy. But I like the joint. I ain't gonna front. Right Around Shining, I do agree. The production on this joint is scaled back. It's not as Neptune-ish as the first album was. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but it was, a little bit more played down, I would say. But I did like Right Around Shining. That was my joint. Mr. Me Too was dope to me. Wham Wham, I like the hook. It was funny as hell to me. I don't know what Wham Wham mean, but and my favorite joint, I think, is Nightmares is my favorite joint, though. I really like, I think Bilal Lace that joint, man. But at this point in their career, yes, Malice was kicking Pusha T ass. I tell people this all the time. Malice was the better of the two. And you're right. I think along their journey, his journey, Pusha T has gotten a lot better than what he was at this point.
I'm gonna say this is definitely that album that's more scaled back, and that was intentional. Pusha T was really riding for Rell, like, yo, bruh, we need this album. We got to get it out, and we trying to have this sound. And it's very scaled back Neptune's boom bap. If that makes sense. Like, it's a couple of weird sounds in there with strong drums. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like, there's only like a few like fully produced Neptune sounding songs on here, like Wham Wham. Wham Wham got a lot of, sounds in it. You got songs like Riding Around Shining that scale back.
That's my joint.
You got songs like Trill, you know what I'm saying? That's got that weird sound, that very basic kind of synthesizer sound, but this is heavy in drums. You know what I'm saying? At the time, I think people were really excited because it was a Clipse coming back, and they were with Pharrell and the Neptunes, and it was a different sounding sound for the Neptunes and the Clipse. You know what I'm saying? It spawned things like Keys Open Doors, you know what I'm saying, which became a common thread among rappers and things like, you know what I'm saying, Keys Open Doors, keys open doors, you know what I'm saying?
True.
Mr. Me was definitely popping. Supposedly that's a Lil Wayne diss. I don't know. Officially, I don't know. But that was, you haven't heard that, Jerayll?
No, I never heard that. I would have to go back.
That's definitely.
I remember Mr. Me Too was a huge record, though. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I never heard that.
That's definitely a thing. And then I was actually a fan of Re-Up Gang. You know what I'm saying? I had like one or two of their mixtapes, and I would always like Ab Lava was straight.
I can't front, man.
Sandman. And Sandman, I thought, got off on this album, you know what I'm saying? On, what joint is that? I think Ancient. I think it's on Ancient. But it's got some joints on here. It's got some joints, and I think that it's still the same as it was back then. It's got weird sounds. I could definitely throw it on, listen to it. You know what I'm saying? Out of this group, I think it's all right. It's cool. I definitely check for it, though. I check for it. I don't think it's better than Lord Willin'. But I do think it's a good Clipse project, though.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Let's go to some instrumentals. Let's go to some a classic producer.
Let me
Go
start
ahead.
this one.
You go ahead.
Let me start with this one real quick, man.
Go ahead. Do your thing.
Because I was just telling Jerayll this the other day, man. I think this is, as far as instrumental albums go, this is the top. You can't. There is no album from no artist that will ever beat Donuts, for the simple fact that this man made these beats on his deathbed. You know what I'm saying? This man made the best work of his life. Like, don't get me wrong. Now, he was making beats for Busta Rhymes, for everybody. Erykah Badu,
Tribe Called Quest.
Yes, Tribe Called Quest. Oh my God, Tribe Called Quest. What's them guys? Lab Cabin. Farside. My God.
He did that whole album. Lab Cabin California was all Dilla.
Bruh, this man is a legend, first of all. But then he just wanted to give you some straight chops and drums real quick. Straight chops and drums on his deathbed before he died, from lupus in 2006. Like, shortly after this project, I don't remember if he died first and then it came out, or if it came out and he died. But either way, it was like a week or two between the two events. And it's Dilla at his best, man. It's straight shots. He's going crazy. Like, my kids, I listen to this so much. My kids know some of these joints, G.
That's what's up, man.
And
that's good.
But yeah, man, like, this is definitely a go-to for me. I'm definitely Donuts heavy, man.
Jerayll.
So just while I just looked it up. Donuts came out February 7th. He died February 10th.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah, man. I don't know. Dilla is. I mean, you can definitely say this is, and I think it might be a consensus with most people. You talk about Dilla fans, and Donuts was like his greatest body of work.
For sure.
And I think it's so cool that a lot of artists took beats from that album and then used them in their own projects. I know Ghost used one actually on Fishscale.
Yes, sir.
And the name of the song on Donuts is a beat for Ghost. You know what I'm saying?
One for Ghost. He made it for Ghost. It was already for Ghost. Right. That's so fire. That's so fire, G.
And then I know the Roots used one. It was the Times of the Heart, Trials of the Heart. And actually Black Thought ended up rapping about Dilla on that, you know what I'm saying? So I thought that was
Was that on Game Theory?
I believe it was Game Theory.
On that album, Game Theory. Go ahead. Yeah.
But I believe it was Game Theory. But yeah, man, Dilla is just, you know what I'm saying, when you talk about like production and hip hop, like, I mean, you could argue that some people may be equal to him, but I don't think you can say that anybody is better. And this being his greatest body of work, like, if you just look at the 4 albums that we're talking about here, I mean, it's definitely, for me, it's got to be top. Got to be.
Yeah. Yeah, man. This whole year I've been in this instrumental mood, you know what I'm saying? Come on, my whole top 10 of Apple, when I looked at Apple, was all like jazz inspired, you know what I'm saying, instrumentation, you know what I'm saying, type joints and whatnot. So I think I've heard this album maybe once or twice. I've always been a fan of Dilla, but I was listening to this joint getting some work done the other day, and it was just pushing me through, you know what I'm saying, just as far as just where I'm at right now and what my taste is as far as sounds and vibes. To speak about Dilla, man, my favorite Dilla beat of all time, I think, just to throw this out there, it's probably It's Your World, the joint that ends out B.
Yeah.
Man, and I think it has to do with just how well Common rapped as well. Common was rapping his ass off on that joint. Dilla's amazing, man. When it comes, and I've always almost envied his drums, G. Like his drums, them joints be just crisp. To me, it's Dilla and Dr. Dre from a drum standpoint, as far as how crisp the drums are. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, what can you say about Donuts that we haven't already said? I mean, it's good. What can we say? You know, so yeah, man.
If we gonna do favorite Dilla beats, I gotta say mine is probably Erykah Badu's "Didn't You Know." Didn't You Know is my joint, G.
Those drums, G.
Woo, my God, that's my joint.
Yeah, man. It's funny that OT. It's funny that you made the Dr. Dre comparison, because both of them what I consider to be like audiophiles, like live in the studio and were so particular on how things sounded.
Exactly.
It wasn't just like how you were rapping the concept of the song. Like the sound had to be tight. It had to be engineered to perfection. And it's just like when you listen to Dilla beats, like the kicks are so tight, you know what I'm saying? But they still knock. Like the hi-hats are so crisp, you know what I'm saying? The snares are just, I mean, everything is just perfect, man. But at the same time, with it sounding so crisp, his beats still always sound extremely gritty. And so just like the to be able to do that, it's just like you've never heard anybody. It's just like the mark of a great producer is like when you hear the beat when it first comes on, you know who did it already. You know what I'm saying? And he's definitely in that category, like with Dre, with like Premier, with like Pete Rock, with like with Ye. You know what I'm saying? You could say it. Like when it comes on, you're like, okay, yeah, that's a Dilla beat. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, but those drums, man, like that shit, it definitely set them apart.
That's how I felt on a lot of Busta Rhymes albums. Like he'll have his basic, you know, producer that he always uses, but he'll always have one or two Dilla beats, which I thought was interesting because those beats didn't sound like anything that he really had on the rest of the album. It always sounded a little different. And it's like, wow, he still mess with. And, you know, back then I was really checking for the credits. And it's like, you know, that wasn't J Dilla, that was JD. You know what I'm saying? These are JD beats on that boy. And it's just like, wow, he really still mess with Dilla, and he could have all these other producers on this joint, but he always reached back and messed with Dilla on every project while he was alive, at least. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it's funny that you say that because I was just, you know, because obviously Busta Rhymes just released a project not long ago. And it was, I was interviewed, I forgot. I was watching it on G somewhere, but I forgot like the actual source. But he was talking like he still has like what he called a treasure trove of Dilla beats. You know what I'm saying? Like he still has like, I think he said like hundreds of beats, something crazy like that, that people haven't heard. And he gives them to people. Like I wish I could remember, but he said he gave somebody some beats recently, some Dilla beats. So it's just, so like people like Busta, like Q-Tip, like I didn't even like so much stuff that I didn't realize he did, like that I was rocking to, like all throughout high school. You know what I'm saying? Like the Beats, Rhymes, and Life was basically all Dilla. Like Q-Tip really didn't do none of that.
The Uma, man. Oh my God.
Which is him and D'Angelo.
Yes.
Which I didn't find out, because I remember, you talk about reading production credits, I remember looking at the credits, who the fuck is the Uma? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Only to find out years later that was fucking Dilla and D'Angelo. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just, so his legacy is like, it's like you can still find out to this day, like, you know what I'm saying, some shit that Dilla did that you didn't even know he did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's, so that's why his legacy, man, is just like, is so solidified in hip hop. Like, I don't think it's a way anybody can ever really fully surpass it. Like, you maybe get to that level, you know what I'm saying? But you talking about like Dilla will be on some Jedi shit. Like you can get there, but you ain't no level past that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was so like behind the scenes. He was so behind the scenes, man. It's not a whole lot of Dilla interviews out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't know he did a lot of beats, man. He got platinum plaques, G. Surely he got a plaque off of Like Water for Chocolate. You know what I'm saying? He all on there. He all up through there.
So wasn't Erykah Badu's story on Big Sean's most recent album regarding Detroit about Dilla? Wasn't that her story mostly? I believe, right? Y'all looked up people when y'all watch this. I believe I'm correct, but yeah, you know.
Yeah. Oh, and one last thought. Let's not forget, Dilla could actually rap too, and he wasn't just like a producer that could kind of
Slum
rap.
Village, man. Slum Village, man.
He was the best rapper in Slum Village. You know what I'm saying? In the original Slum Village, I mean, Elzai was out. You know what I'm saying? I think was better.
Yeah.
When you talk about By 10 and T3, yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Hey, I mess with By 10, man.
Rest in peace, By 10. Yeah.
R.I.P., man. All right, moving on to
Ghostface
Killah's Fishscale. I'm not gonna start on this one, but I'm not gonna start. But
I'll start out.
Fishscale.
I'll start, man. I remember this joint, and I'll just say this: it's a specific. It's in the middle of this album, right? Starting at number 7, it's like 5 skits in a row, or some shit like that, right? I don't know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But once it get to like, for me, like whip you with a strap, like from there, it's the middle of that album, G. I just remember those songs like Whip You With a Strap, of course, Back Like That, Be Easy. Be Easy should, to me, from a standpoint of like a beat that people can rap off, like freestyle off, Be Easy should be up there. You know what I'm saying? Like classic joint. But I don't think this album gets enough respect from the standpoint of Ghost's catalog. I definitely think people talk more so about, of course, Iron Man, you know what I'm saying? People are going to talk about, Supreme Clientele. And I like Bulletproof Wallace as well. This was right after Bulletproof Wallace, right? This is the fourth one. Okay. Yeah. I like this project a lot, man. I think that it was good. Ghost was rapping. Ghost to me is I don't know if he's in my top 10.
He in my top 5, actually.
Woo!
I've liked Ghost for a long time, man. Ghost is top tier. Like Method Man.
He your top 5 of all time?
Bruh, he put out consistent work.
That's true.
Consistently good sounding work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to take your, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
No.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and let you finish. But
I'm almost done. I know you are Mr. Wu. You rep the W. So I mean, I'm just going, But yeah, man, I really like this project. I think, and what was dope about it is that it's still, Ghost Iron Man came out in 1993, right? Was it 92 or 93?
I feel like it was 96.
96 Iron Man?
Yeah, it wasn't. I can look.
I'm sorry.
It definitely wasn't 93. I know it wasn't.
No, that wasn't. You're right.
I thought it was 96.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, but either way, what I'm getting at is that people forget how Ghost had longevity, even from a single standpoint, because Back Like That was a smash, G.
It was a smash.
It was a smash.
It was.
It was a smash, G. And then he went and got Ye on the remix.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Completely forgot.
Hey, man, I'm just here for the nuance. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, come on.
Hey, man, look, let me say something. Hey, man, look, man. This is one of the most underrated Ghostface albums that's ever dropped. It don't get talked about enough. I think it's way better than Bulletproof Wallets, man. I would agree. This album got funny skits on it that fit with everything. Is produced well. Pete Rock is on here. MF Doom is on here 3 times. One of the joints that MF Doom produced, this man is making real live rap art. Like he doing a lot of storytelling on here. There's a lot of songs that tells a story. You know what I'm saying? And one of them songs only Ghostface could do is rapping about aquatic life and things that are going on under the sea. You know what I'm saying? Who does that? Who's rapping like that? Talking about SpongeBob and, you know what I'm saying, mermaids and stuff. Gee, this album out of these four are my favorite. This is my favorite out of these joints, G. Even better than Food and Liquor. And Food and Liquor is very creative too. But this is so fun to listen to. You know what I'm saying? The joint, a kilo is 1,000 grams. It's easy to remember. Yo, that's fire. The joint, the Wu-Tang joint at this time, not a whole lot of people had heard Wu-Tang all together like that. You know what I'm saying? And he dropped that joint, produced by MF Doom. You know what I'm saying? What else is on this boy, man?
Mama's my joint. Yeah, go ahead.
The Ragu joint with Raekwon. I think that's produced by Pete Rock. I think. I'm not completely.
Yeah, but that joint hard. That Ragu. Yeah.
That joint is hard. This man got beats on here, man. He got this, and he got J Dilla beats, and the beats from. Like when I saw the Donuts track list, One for Ghost doesn't make sense for me. You know, didn't make sense to me. Like I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? And then this album comes out later, and it's like this he was in works. He was talking to Ghost, and they was working together. You know what I'm saying? Right. But yeah, man. And then it ends with. It ends with 3 Bricks, featuring Notorious B.I.G., which was very interesting because they had beef at the time. Or not at the time, but they had beef a while back. You know what I'm saying? And I know that off of Only Built for Cuban Links, Shark Niggas was about Big. Taking,
they were talking about they was biting our style. You know what I'm saying?
Style, you know what I'm saying? With the album cover and all that. And then exactly. And so I guess it's all good, you know what I'm saying? But you know, this is a creative album. A lot of good storytelling on here. I like it for those reasons, man. It's a fun ride to listen to. Out of all of these albums, I think this is the one that people need to check out. You know what I'm saying? This needs to be heralded more in the halls of hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
man. So it's funny because, like, I'm obviously huge Ghostface fan. But honestly, when I want to hear Ghost, like, I always go to Iron Man. Iron Man, to me, is by far his best album. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say Supreme Clientele. But Iron Man, like I remember Supreme Clientele is a great album, but Iron Man is just like from the album cover to the way the album flowed, man, just to everything. It's just that, man. It was just such a great album. So, and I remember you say we were going to talk about Fishscale. Like, damn, I don't even really remember a lot about Fishscale. So I went back and listened to it. And I forgot how good of an album this was. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just thinking about what you talk about, like Bulletproof Wallets, even stuff he came out later, like 36 Seasons and all that. And Ghostface has always been very, very consistent. But, like, this album has to be ranked number 3 to me. I think Supreme Clientele was better, but I think Fishscale is right there. You know what I'm saying? Especially after going back and listening to it, man. Like it's definitely a classic Ghost album. You know what I'm saying? And like Ghost to me, man, he's like so lyrically intricate. And like almost like on some he had his own lingo, his own style, on some Camp Low shit, but you can actually understand what the fuck Ghostface is talking about, as opposed to Camp Low is just like, man, what are these niggas saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like Like even with Ghost could say, you know, Scooby Snack Jurassic plastic ass booby trapping out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like the way he said, the way he puts his words together, the way it's like,
fire.
Man,
that was fire.
It's like, man, like Ghost. I wouldn't put him in my top 5, but in terms of when you talk about just consistently putting out quality bodies of work, you know what I'm saying, consistently like setting the bar at a steady level as far as lyricism, to me, man, it's Black Thought and then Ghost. I'm talking about it's being consistent. You know what I'm saying?
G, we gotta bring Jerayll on more, G. I'm telling you.
I appreciate that. And by the way, Black Thought was my number one. To me, he's the greatest rapper of all time.
Hey,
you know
do your thing, man.
Wow. Yeah. A lot of rappers out here, man.
Now, dude, I'm talking about, especially, I mean, look at what he's doing now. Like, he was just on that Toby always butchers his last name, so I don't want to say it. The Inkwell, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I just said I wasn't going to do it, but I just did it anyway. But what he's doing now, I feel like Black Thought is finally starting to get his flowers.
Oh, for sure.
But when you look at, like, Organics came out in, 91?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just really think, and I know I'm going off subject. I'm going to wrap this
You're
up.
good. But, this will be here for.
But really think about, have you ever heard Black Thought spit a whack verse?
No.
You haven't. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody ever came at Black Thought. Ain't nobody ever dissed Black Thought. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you talk about your favorite rapper's favorite rapper, Black Thought got to be in that category, man. Like, nobody, and like, I think people, because he was in a band, because he was a part of the group, people kind of like don't give him his credit as far as like an artist that he is. Yeah. But man, ain't nobody in the history of hip hop better than Black Thought, to me, my personal opinion. But when you talk about consistency, I think Ghostface is right there. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like, obviously, I think Black Thought is a better rapper. When you just talk about being consistent, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, the only project I thought of Ghost that I didn't really feel was like that Ghost Dini Wizard. He came out like on some weird R&B type shit.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The Wizard of
R&B
I forgot.
Yeah.
I remember listening to it. I was just like, man, Ghost, what is it?
He was trying to cash. I think that was a cash grab because after this album, Back Like That, is when it came out. You know what I'm saying? And Back Like That was a smash hit, and he's had consistent hits like that with the girl joints, like the Bulletproof Wallets had the joint with Rugged Ends or whatever the name of that group was.
Yeah, I remember you talking Rough Ends,
Yeah, Rough Ends.
Yeah, Rough Ends, yeah.
And he had that joint, and that was a single, and that did numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's had these, you know, even with All That I Got Is You, I mean, that was a single.
With Mary J.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. With Mary J. And so he's had those hits, and I felt, and it's like, why don't I put out an R&B joint? And so he did that joint. It was kind of
terrible idea.
True.
But it's funny that you say that though, because like I remember because that joint with Neo, Back Like That, was the lead single off this album.
Yeah.
So when he came out, like I was just like, man, Ghost, you doing songs with Neo? What is this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I wasn't really checking for the album, but my brother, R.I.P. to my brother, man, he was a huge Ghost fan. Anything Ghost did, he was gonna cop. So I remember I'm in the car with him, and he playing like, oh, okay, this is actually decent. You know what I'm saying? And even with that song being as commercial and kind of soft as it was, Ghost was still on there being Ghost. You know what I'm saying? Because you remember the beginning of the song, he was talking to a girl just like, I need the ring back. Oh, it's too tight. Well, I'll just take the whole finger then. Like, whoa.
Yeah. Whoa. Exactly.
He wasn't on those songs.
Right. So even though he was kind of like a quote unquote kind of softer song, it was still Ghost. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I definitely gotta respect that. And I actually met Ghostface one time.
Story time. Go ahead.
Right. It was so this is actually kind of a low key wild story. I was in it was this club in the south suburbs called the Bala.
I was there that night. Go ahead. I was there that night. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You were there?
I know the night I was gonna say I didn't meet him, but I was gonna say I remember he was at Bi-Level one night on 147. So go ahead.
Yeah, it was a weird pairing because it was like first of all, people out there wasn't really like the people out there. That demographic wasn't a Ghostface demographic though. And
Bro,
it was like,
go ahead.
And to make it even more weird, it was Ghostface and Mobb Deep. You know what I'm saying? And I remember, so I'm back there, you know what I'm saying? So I know Larnell, he'd been out here before. So I was with Larnell. His brother, DJ Ferris, was the one doing the night. He was DJing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ferris, shout out to Larnell.
True.
So we was in the the VIP area, and I remember seeing Mobb Deep. Like, damn man, these niggas is little as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And they had all the security with them, right? And they never left the VIP. And I'm like, man, I thought Ghost was finna be here. Where Ghost at? I look off outside the VIP. Ghostface is standing on the wall, Joe.
Yes.
It was him and Tripe, light-skinned homie from the theater.
Yeah,
Tripe the guy.
It was him and Tripe. Ghostface just sitting out there in the crowd. Nobody knows who he is. He's just sitting there on the wall. And I'm like, man, that's Ghost. Go right over there. You know what I'm saying? Like when you were saying, shook his hand, say, what's up, man? Like, I love your music and been listening to you since I was shorty, all that. He was very cool, very humble. You know what I'm saying? And when I came over there to him, he wasn't like awesome, like, nah. He was just like, yeah, you know, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, very, very cool dude, man. Very, very cool. So that's
bro. I was shaving and I was listening to Fishscale like an hour before we was doing this, and I was like, damn, I remember that one time Ghost was at that club out south, G. That was weird that he was there because I don't know why they would have him there. And that's crazy because I remember that, G. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's weird because I don't think we knew each other then. You know
no, we didn't. But I was there. I was there that night.
Crazy.
Yeah,
I was there.
BEERZ BARZ connected. Whoa.
Because we stayed in Bi-Level, we stayed at Arnie's, we stayed at Jaguar, we stayed at all of the joints out there.
At Arnie's, G.
Hey, Bi-Level on. I'm talking about, man. It used to be some wild nights in that boy, man.
Oh, for sure.
That's Chicago, man.
We had to talk about that offline, Joe.
For sure.
2006 Chicago, man. Chicago right now, man. Hey, that was fire, man. We got to take that story and put that joint on.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, for sure. We can do that.
A word, man. We gonna end that right there, man. Moving on, man.
Lupe, let's go.
Lupe Fiasco's Food and Liquor. Man, Lupe Fiasco's Food and Liquor, man. I'm gonna start and just say this. Really, Lupe Fiasco is a very good rapper. He was showing a lot of technical rapping skill on this debut. Before this joint came out, he had a good maybe 2 or 3 first and 15th mixtapes.
Yeah.
And man, I heard some of those and I forgot how I really caught on to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I know hearing those mixtapes, I'm like, man, this man is a rapper's rapper. Like he's a very good technical rapper. Like he's like, if he can, I'm like, man, I wonder if he's gonna really take it as far as he did, because I really wasn't sure, because he was like a nerd with the way he was rapping. He would be rapping about like Nintendo stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? But then still have like gang related stuff in there. You know what I'm saying? In his early mixtape stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then he came out with this joint, and it's a lot of like orchestra sounding samples on it. This ain't like regular regular samples. These are like these are sampled from orchestra type stuff, you know what I'm saying? And you know, hold on, man. Songs like He Say She Say is like, you know,
fire.
He's got a few story joints on here. Like the box joint is a story. The instrumental. What else is on here, man?
Daydreaming is story. Everything almost a story, man. Hurt Me Soul a story.
Everything is almost a story. You know what I'm saying? He told a lot of anecdotal stories on here. Just starting with Real. Real is hard. You know what I'm saying? Kick Push is a story.
Yeah.
And they got people in tune with the skateboarding kids. You know what I'm saying? The Cool is a story. Which went on to his second album.
Yeah.
Cool. One of the only joints on here that he just like rapping was with Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where he just rapping. They just rapping. That beat was on a mixtape before the album came out.
Yeah.
Without Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? I think he changed his verse too. I think Lupe changed his verse too.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, he had the cosign from Jay-Z, and it's like after that, he started rising. But he did put out a stellar first album. Like, it's good. It's creative. It make you think. You know, Hurt Me So. That joint is hard.
That's hard, G.
It's intelligent. It's
that
rap,
beat is
man.
so hard.
That joint, yeah.
It's good, man. What's the joint where American Terrorist? American Terrorist is good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I forget the hook. But he had the dude singing on it. You know,
Matthew Santos. Yeah, Matthew Santos.
That joint is good, man.
Emperor soundtrack was good, G.
The Emperor soundtrack. How that joint?
That beat. I forgot exactly. It's a crazy beat. Shout out the soundtrack, by the way. You know, so I think he did a good amount of the production.
Too.
Yeah,
I think he did a lot of the album. Yeah, man, it's a good album. It's a really.
I ain't gonna lie, G.
Really good album.
I think this is one of the. I don't want to step out, man. I think from the standpoint of if we talking about, of course, we was talking about how Fishscale was unheralded in Ghostface's catalog, but just from an album standpoint. I think this album right here is one of the most unheralded joints as far as just in general, G.
You think so?
I think if you from Chicago, and I think if you really like lyricists, you know what I'm saying, outside of Chicago, people really like this album. But when people talk about like Illmatics and from the standpoint of first albums and whatnot, right? Like if you go through this track list, it's not no whack songs on here at all. It's authentic, it's different. I don't think that people was rapping like this at that time. He had the street lingo and whatnot, but at the same time he had a song like Daydreaming talking about robots, but relating it to the hood itself being this robot with different compartments and whatnot. Like what? Like he say, she say the story where, you know, when you give it from both sides, like, bruh, I think that this is one of the greatest joints ever put out to me. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I don't know if that's just from like the standpoint of a first album or if it's just overall, but it's people that really Lupe fans really go hard for him because of this work and like the Cool. And I think he kind of fell off a little bit, you know, in between there. I think Tetsuo and Youth is slept on. That's a slept on album to me.
Oh my God. That is such a great album.
That is fire to me, G.
He got psychodrama on the album, though. Like,
bro,
that's true.
But
see, that's some Chicago love right there. Like,
but the song is there though.
Outside of Chicago, who messing with psychodrama though? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
we say like, yo, psychodrama. There's people that's gonna see this and be like, who is psychodrama? You know,
that's true. That's true.
It's like psychodrama. He wildin' in a 2000s era, past 2010. He got psychodrama. That's crazy.
But I'm talking about conceptually the album in general. But back to this joint, man. I think this is one of the best joints. I think if he could have had a better run mid albums, like as far as, you know, I don't think that Great American Rap album was that good. I think that Lasers was, so I would compare him. I would say he's like Chi-Town's Nas, man. I think he said that before, but I rock with Lupe. I don't know if I'm a fan, but I'm a Fanny fan. So
Stop it!
Yeah,
You're
man.
a Fanny fan. Stop it!
yeah. No. I'll admit when he has whack stuff. I think Fanny fans, like, I'm not gonna make an excuse for lasers. Like Fanny fan of Kanye's will make excuses for anything, you know what I'm saying, that he do. So but I don't wanna go there, right? I don't wanna, but yeah, Jerayll, go ahead, man.
So I remember, man, when those First and 15 mixtapes was coming out. That's when I was real big on the mixtapes, trying to get stuff before it came out, all this, you know what I'm saying? So I remember when the First and 15 mixtapes came out, and I remember like hearing the name Lupe Fiasco. I didn't even find out he was from Chicago until and I started listening to him like, oh wait, he started talking about, oh yeah, no, this dude's from the crib. You know what I'm saying? And I just remember hearing him, man, like he was so lyrically intricate. You know what I'm saying? Like his metaphors, like the things that he would piece together, man, were just like almost otherworldly. And then like to find out more about him, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you say, he comes across as this nerd, but he actually pretty hood from the West Side, but he's also kind of like a ninja. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right?
He's an enigma.
And he can rap his ass off. Like, is this nigga a superhero? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was Lupe was so mind blowing to me, man, when I first heard him. And then when this Food and Liquor came out, it was just like I saw such a different future for Lupe than what actually happened. You know what I'm saying? I saw Lupe dominating rap for years. Because it seemed like to me he checked all the boxes, like super intelligent, super lyrical, but he also hood. You know what I'm saying? And like you getting co-signs from Jay-Z. You got Jay-Z on your first album. You know what I'm saying? And you low-key out-rapping Jay-Z. Like, I thought the sky was the limit for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this album was just front to back, man. Like I played this album so much. I thought The Box was one of the most creative songs I ever heard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hurt Me Soul was just that story, was just so the way he pushed that together and like low-key talking about trauma and how it affects people and their interactions with others and how that carries out in their lives.
That third verse, untouchable.
So ahead of his time. So ahead of his time. You know what I'm saying? But then I feel like he really chased that commercial appeal. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of derailed like his career, you know what I'm saying? Especially I think you mentioned lasers, man. I think lasers kind of epitomized that for me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It was just like when that show goes on shit came out, I was just like, okay, this is cool. When I heard that album, I was just like, nah, man, this ain't.
Yeah.
To me, he never really, it was like he was so diverse. He had so many lanes he could get into. It was like it was almost like a jack of all trades, master of none type of situation where he could never really get his lane together. You know what I'm saying? But lyrically, ain't too many people out here trying to see Lupe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just like, I think also as time went on, like when you talk about that Tetsu and Youth album, like I feel like nobody has really listened to the album, for at least most people that I know. But I thought that I remember telling people because I remember not even like it's funny because I remember being on Spotify and like I want to listen to Food and Liquor. So I go to Food and Liquor and this Tetsu and Youth like, oh shit, Lupe got a new album. I ain't heard this. You know what I'm saying? I put it on. I'm like, oh my God, this album is fucking amazing. You know what I'm saying? But nobody was listening to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. The first song of the album, the way it comes on, like when he rapped for like 5 minutes straight, it's just like, man, like Lupe lyrically is on a whole other level than a lot of people out here. And but I just don't think he ever really was able to recapture the magic of Food and Liquor. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he just, and it's almost like he's almost trying to live up to the ghost of that as time went on. Because like when you talk about fans of Lupe, like Food and Liquor is the holy grail, you know? And I think he kind of, obviously I don't know in his mind, this is just my opinion. I think he kind of became a slave to that in a sense, in trying to like redo it or and get that commercial appeal along with it, because Lupe was actually like on fire when he first came out. Like
even the second joint,
Daydream won a Grammy.
He's been like super Grammy nominated throughout his career.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I think he always so in his name, I don't think now, I think people nowadays know Lupe more for like saying crazy shit on Twitter. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Than for him actually rapping. I wouldn't say crazy shit that people don't agree with, I would say.
Yeah.
It's funny because I always thought like Lupe may be, man, too smart for his own good sometimes, man.
He's definitely become very heady, even his raps, you know, over the, he's super heady. Like, you got to be like, wait. Yeah.
I remember like listening to Testo and Youth was just like, man, I need to go read a book or some shit to get it.
That joint was so over my head.
Yeah. I got to listen to this a few times to really kind of catch everything. You know what I'm saying? Because he will put so many metaphors into a bar.
Complicated metaphors too.
yeah, man. Like, but in terms of just this album, definitely a classic. Put on for Chicago, right? Like, and we unfortunately, with as many talented people as we have here, we haven't had a lot of people that reach that level that come from Chicago, which is still mind-boggling to me. But Chicago people rep Chicago hard, and he definitely like rep Chicago. So it was one of those, man, like proud for the city moments, man. We had Lupe, you know what I'm saying? We had Ye, like, you know what I'm saying? Calm was still calm, you know what I mean? Because
calm was still calm. That's the third show in a row somebody's then kind of, you know, ha gave a little.
He's shamed.
Hey, man, I mean, we all know what it. We all know what it is, man. Like, Calm, man, he just, I don't know. But either way, like during that time, man, I just feel like it was a great time to be a Chicagoan hip hop fan. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think during that period of time we've ever had an era like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great point.
I can remember.
That's a good point.
Where you had that many people that were like really like prominent in hip hop simultaneously, and Lupe was a huge part of that. And I don't really, and even from a Chicagoan standpoint, I don't think people really even give Lupe his respect for putting on for Chicago the way he did. You know what I'm saying? Like, he really was. I mean, he got to kind of be one of the hip hop pillars here. I mean,
for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, and Food and Liquor is just kind of like, even though he was never really able to recapture that, like, he still has that, a classic album, a great body of work that few people can top. Like, it's not a lot of people out there, even in the game today, that can say they got a Food and Liquor. You know what I'm saying?
And what's crazy is that some people would argue that the second one was even better. I don't agree. I think that the first one was better.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
Yeah, The Cool was a good album. I remember I listened to The Cool a lot, but like in The Cool, like, cause that Tokyo and Paris was on The Cool. That was a huge song.
Yeah.
Superstar was on that joint. He had hits on that joint.
Superstar, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, The Cool was a good album, but Food and Liquor is just it was on a different level. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, production, the concepts of the song, but in The Cool being the concept album that it was, and kind of like following this story that continued from the song The Cool, from Food and Liquor. I thought that aspect of the album was extremely dope. I love concept albums. If you can make an album based off like a one story, well, I mentioned Ghost 36 Seasons. With Ghost 36 Seasons was a concept album I think was people really slept on. But Lupe, the Cool just didn't. It wasn't Food and Liquor. And I don't think he ever really got back to that. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Lupe. He's still one of my favorite rappers, man. I fucks with Lupe. And just one of my favorite people in general. Like it's just like I said, it's just so amazing to me that like so much diversity in character can exist in one person. You know
I ain't
what I'm
gonna
saying?
hold you. Him and Royce got a dope podcast right now. I don't know if people check for Royce the 5'9" and Lupe have a dope podcast. So
Really?
Together?
Yes. Royce and Lupe have a podcast together. It's called Royce and Lupe, and they are funny as hell. And they be chopping it up and get because they both have. Lupe has his weird ass opinions. Not weird, but he's Lupe, and then Royce is Royce. So that seems to work well within that space because they definitely combat sometimes, but thoughtfully. So yeah.
And Royce is definitely like one of the few people lyrically I think could fuck with Lupe.
Facts.
And I don't know of any songs they've been on, which is crazy that they had that show together. I don't think I remember a Royce and Lupe song.
And that's why it's so weird that you said that, like Royce and Lupe. Like,
bro, the Royce and Lupe show is what it's called.
Yeah,
the joint is fire.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, those are two people that not too many people want to see lyrically. You know what I'm saying? Like on a straight, like. Yeah, I wouldn't think it. Like Royce and Lupe, like I think Royce the 5'9" is definitely supremely underrated. What was that album he came out with? Not the last album, the album before that, man. This is one of my favorite songs. Royce
Book of Ryan.
Book of Ryan.
Book of Ryan.
That was good.
That's a song on there. Bablo Boat.
Yeah, J. Cole.
That Bablo Boat with J. Cole. Actually, I wasn't even really a fan of J. Cole for real until I heard that song. That shit made me go listen to J. Cole more. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, that Bablo Boat, man. That whole album, like, you know what I'm saying? But definitely, man, Royce. Shout out to Royce, man. He's up there too in terms of like lyricists for real.
Oh, for sure. Hey, man, that's the show.
Beers and bars, man. We'll see y'all next time. Cheers, man. Appreciate y'all having me, man. This is I
on the
really
real, man. Thank you, Jerayll. Go listen to Clipse. Hath no fury. Donuts, J Dilla Donuts. Fishscale by Ghostface Killah, and Food and Liquor by Chicago's own Lupe Fiasco. Lupe Fiasco's Food and Liquor.
We'll see y'all next time.
Peace.